Slightly under it, that shot there from Catchy, but he should be okay. He'll play this 2 rails for the 9.
I think that's the first dry break.
Yeah, we've not seen many, that's for sure. You could hear Niels say push out. Anybody new that's watching, after the break the players can play a push out and basically do what they want, but they must bear in mind that when the opponent comes back to the table they can elect you to play the shot. That's why you often see the players taking a little bit of time, because the last thing they want to do is, you know, push out into a position where they're leaving an easy shot or a super difficult shot.
Yeah, it's always you know, the push outs very difficult to teach anybody. You know, you get a lot of students or people wanting to learn pull and ask for advice on the push out, but it really there's so many factors as to how to play it and which way to play it. It all depends on so many things like on that given moment.
Yeah, it's just something that the top pool players seem to sort of grasp, don't they? Where to put it and how to make it difficult. Now Chris has come to the table and he's thinking, oh, it's not the easiest of safeties, but time and time again you put them back and they seem to have spotted something that you might not have spotted when you're growing up, and you soon learn.
Yeah, it definitely does come with experience, and that's a tricky one though. It's whether Chris here gives it him back or not. You almost sometimes think, well, they've played it there for a reason, I'm not going to give it back. You know, they've got a plan, even though you might not have.
Yeah, and he's taking the shot on. It's dangerous because it's going up near the corner. And he's been a little bit fortunate there. I don't believe he was using the blue 2 as his blocker, but nevertheless he's put Niels in a tricky position. Niels is famous for his jump cue antics, but I think the object ball's a little bit too far away even for Niels.
Funny you should say that, Carl. In our match there were 2 shots I think that I kind of thought Niels would have pulled out the jump cue. One in particular, and he elected to kick it, which he did, but he left me a shot. Anyway, nevertheless, I just was, when you mentioned the jumping, he's a fantastic jumper, isn't he?
Yeah, and you know, in the last rack, was you trying to pot the 3 on your jump shot when you played yours?
Yeah,
Combo,
well, yeah, combo, yeah.
Yeah, because it wasn't far away. It was, you know, they did a replay and it was really close to the pot.
It was a kind of, you know, I obviously couldn't have an idea where everything was going, but I really didn't have much any other choice really.
So Chris Robinson from the USA represented Team America in last year's Moscone Cup. Played very well for Team USA and all.
Yeah, he did, and that actually was the first time I'd ever seen him play.
Yeah, I think he's going to be around for a few years, representing America, the way he played and, you know, the way he handles himself.
Yeah, he's a nice guy as well. How old is he, Carl? Do you know?
He's 23, and he said, I'm old enough to be his dad.
That's nice, isn't it?
That was a dagger to the heart.
Yeah, that means I'm old enough to be his mum. Well, here's the jump cue that we were talking about.
Yeah, and he's big favourite to make this. You know where that one ball is. It's just where the cue ball ends up, and he'll be happy with that. That's a good shot, and that gives himself an open look at this rack now. So Kelly, what you like with the old jump cue? Is it something you know enjoy playing, or do you think not really for me?
Well, for many, many years, really, to be honest, I've never really been that fond of it. But of late, I've had a little bit of help.
Really? Any names or?
Yeah, you know Nate Mindham.
Oh, don't be bigging him up.
Honestly, I know exactly.
No.
I'll never hear the end of this now.
What have I started here?
I'll never hear the end of this now, but there he is. Yeah, no, he did. He spent just virtually as well, but just one or two little tips. And, you know, believe it or not, I mean, I really feel a lot more confident. I'm just feeling it's easier to control. But again, still, that were only about 3 weeks ago. So I'm still, it's a work in progress, Carl.
Right, well, that's something we're going to keep an eye on for the rest of this week.
Oh, no, now every time I get the jump cue out, I'm thinking about it now. It's either Nate's fault or it's, you know, a pat on the back for Nate. No, it was very nice of him to help, so I'll take any help when it comes to jumping, that's for sure.
I was going to say maybe you could ask Niels, but after that last match, I think he should stay well away.
Yeah, I've been actually quite pally with him so far this week. Maybe not anymore, I'm not sure. No. He's a lovely guy, great ambassador for the sport, and a gentleman.
Yeah, he's got to play thin off this. And he's judged that pretty well. That can often go wrong. You can just leave a little edge, but he hasn't, so...
Well, on the other table, Catchy won that match, Hill, didn't he? And then now we've got him and Ralph. And Ralph's coming off a 5-0 defeat from Chris, right?
Yeah, he lost 5-0. It was a bit of a strange match, really. I mean, Ralph didn't do too much wrong. It was just a couple of little kick shot safeties, and he had a bit of a skid on a 9-ball to go 1-1, and you know, Chris does what he does best and just blew him away. Pretty good kick shot, wasn't it? That was flying around.
It did. I was going to say I didn't really see it. So 2 balls going now. Oh yeah, no.
A kick bank carom he tried there. He's left with a horrible shot here because the 8 is not quite over the pocket. He's jacked up over the brown 7, so what do you play here?
I was just going to ask you, what would you play here, Carl?
I think it's worth having a go, but it is not easy. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty sensible, isn't it?
Yeah, great shot. All in all, from being jacked up, he couldn't have played it much better, really.
Yeah, and that little nudge on the brown 7 has just held the cue ball, so we get to see Niels go airborne again. Airborne is what is often used in America when the guys are pulling the jump cue out. I mean, you would think he's going to hit the 4 ball here, but there's no guaranteeing potting this one. It was pretty close. It was the right side of the 4.
As he left a 4-9 combo. I see Chris, we're going to have a look at that. Into the side pocket.
Yeah, it's certainly diving over that one, isn't it?
It's close.
Breaking news on table 2. Ralph Suke is just about to win his first rack in this year's Predator Championship League pool event. He is on the board. Yeah, so the intention there from Chris was to make sure he got a good 4-ball on the top rail, and probably tried to get a good cue ball in behind the 6 or the 9 type thing, but the main thing the players are thinking there is just make sure you get a good 4-ball. Just wondering, can Niels bank the 4? Can he bank it onto the 7? Not really, because where the cue ball's going over the left side, he'd probably need a little bit of luck. I mean, it is on. He's played this well. He's hit the second rail, so the 4 comes away from the pocket. And look at this, he's on it. Great shot.
That was a fantastic shot. The safety was just as hard, so I think it was worth a go for that bank.
Yeah, it was key to catch that second rail the way he did, just to get the 4-ball away and just give himself a higher percentage of landing on it. I'm just starting to get the feeling that today's going to go right down to the wire. You know what I mean? Of just got the feeling all of a sudden it's just hit me.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think you're going to find that with many of the days. I mean, you know, it's the race to 5 is a big factor, and at this level, anybody can beat anybody. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, even race to 9. I mean, listen, you can beat Niels race to 9, no danger.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. With 9-ball, of course. You know, the longer the race, I think, obviously, then, you know, the better player, let's say, will come out. It's same in any sport, isn't it? Any cue sport, any sport. But certainly race to 9 is not much different than a race to 5, really. But it's even more cutthroat, isn't it? It's exciting.
Yeah, I think this is just going to come down to who can hold their nerve right at the end when, you know, there's a must-win match right at the end to get through to the semis and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's Niels Feijen who wins rack 2. He's leading Chris Robinson 2 racks to 0. So this is the start Niels would have loved to have had, and had he has, because he's coming into this match on the back of a defeat to Kelly Fisher. Kelly Fisher has played 1-1. Lovely.
That sounds awfully nice. Sounds lovely.
Yeah, Ralph is playing catchy right now, so if catchy wins, then you're playing Ralph next, so he'll be 0 from 2. That'd be nice for you, wouldn't it?
Well, actually, I was kind of yeah. You don't like to say that, you know, but of course, got to think of myself here. But yeah, it would. Yeah, sorry, Ralph.
That'll put some real heat on Ralph. That will.
Meanwhile, he's 1-0 up with ball in hand, but we'll see.
We can wish.
Well, I fancy Niels now to really get in stroke. You know, I just a few break and runs. I fancy it looks more settled.
Yeah, I think all around the board, from what we've seen so far, everyone seems to be breaking pretty good, and the 9-ball staying around that spot where it should do, and unless it gets kicked, of course. There you see, it just stays there. Yeah, I think it's been so far so good. So it was a good break from Niels. He's got a chance of playing a combo here to pop the 8. The 8's not quite over the pocket, so you know, you do have to take a little bit of care on this shot, and of course he's got to control the yellow 1 ball as well.
The good thing is with the 2 sitting, you know, he had a lot more, less worry, should I say. He's on the 2 even if both went in, or he just, you know, it can be anywhere really on that 1 as long as he can make it to get on the 2.
Take any bridge, or is there a designated bridge? That one?
Niels just asking the referee, does he have his own bridge?
It's not often you see Niels needing the bridge.
Yeah, these balls are sat lovely. This is a great opportunity. You got to feel for Chris, you know, he was 2-0 up in his first match against Albion, and you know, he lost 5-2, and then things have not quite happened at the start of this match. But hey, it's short race to 5, and one little thing can soon turn around a match. That's what I always liked about pool, Kelly, when you was down in a match and it's not really going your way, and then just one thing happens, you know, and you just turn it round, then all of a sudden the match swings your way a little bit, and you manage to, you know, dig yourself out of a little hole and start asking questions back. That's what I always love that.
Yeah, it's amazing now. You can probably remember them, can't you? Just that one thing that swung the match around. It's not as nice when it happens the other way around, though.
That's horrible.
But yeah, you can actually, most matches you can pinpoint where it kind of went wrong or went right. There was a particular shot in my match where Niels had saved me, and I could just see the edge of the 3, and I went for it, but I clipped the 4 first, and I thought to myself, that's the turnaround there, because I should have kicked it from behind, but I chose to go for and it was like I could see just the paint on it, you know, and I hit the 4 first, so that was going to be one of them moments, I thought.
He's lost the cue ball a little bit there, and it's going near the rail. Should still be alright, it's just held up enough, but he was a little bit concerned as it was tracking down. So that 9 ball puts Niels Feijen 3-0 in front over Chris Robinson.
I think it's Chris's break next, I think. So, you know, Chris really needs to have a good break and run here, good break, good solid break and a nice run out to really get on the board and get back in this match.
This championship is being played with the new Aramith tournament set. Featuring a unique molecular structure, it guarantees razor-sharp precision and unsurpassed longevity. Unquestionably the best pool balls in the world, this set is available in a TV and a value pack version, as well as in the new My Aramith Ranger of Ball and Q cases. Now you can bring and play with the best ball set everywhere you go. My Aramith, bringing new dimensions to your billiards experience.
Rack 4, Chris Robinson to break, and he's not got a shot on the one ball. Now made a ball, so we're going to see a push out.
Yeah, 3-0 down. You're really wanting just to get a shot at that one, get your arm going, get back in the match. So we'll see what he comes up with here.
It looks like he's kicking at this, or is he pushing to the top rail? Yeah, he's just throwing his arm at it now, trying to make something happen.
I'm not sure why he would have done that, to be honest. Are you, Carl?
Yeah, it's probably not the wisest move, but maybe a little bit of frustration creeping into his game at the minute. But I mean, he's played okay, really. He was 2-0 up in his first match, and Albin finished that off very clinically, and he's not done much wrong here. So I think the main thing is just try and keep Niels off the hill, keep him off 4. So the missed bank shot from Niels, but it's been kind to him. It's not left Chris anything easy.
It looks from here like he can clip the right edge of the one, but it's hard to tell, and obviously not. Just going for the kick.
Yeah, I'm with you. It looks like you can see the edge of it, but I'm not saying it's easy. Obviously he can't because he's kicking, and this is not easy. Trying to go behind the brown 7. Yeah, there's a bit of frustration. Oh, he's fluked at 9.
Wow.
Well, he's made something happen, that's for sure. Look at this.
That's the game of 9 ball, isn't it? That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I think over the distance of your career, you're not going to keep getting lucky like that, but at this moment it's certainly helped him in this match.
Yeah, well, we saw him play 2 shots that looked frustrated. You know, he was frustrated. So to actually come up and make the 9 there is he needed it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's not a bad tactic, because you know, when you're kicking hard at the ball like that, a lot of things can happen. So you never know. Niels has been around the block though. He's seen everything that you can possibly see on a 9x5 pool table, so he will not be phased.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, the older we all get here, the more experience we get, good and bad, and you know, you just have to take in your stride and try not to get affected during the match. Great break again from Niels.
Yeah, he's crunching that break, isn't he?
And that cue ball's just landing right in the spot and stopping dead. Look at that.
Niels is such a great champion. He knows the importance of, you know, this rack, or certainly the next rack. You know, you just want to get on the hill first, and the sooner he gets there, it'll just take a bit of pressure off himself, and you know, it always applies that pressure back onto your opponent. And can he chop this 1 ball in the side?
It looks like it from here, Carl, I think, but yeah, looks like it, right? Just controlling the cue ball after that.
Yeah, it must be a lot thinner than the view we're getting, because you'd have thought he'd have been down and played it by now. Maybe it is a little bit far past. No, I think he can chop that. I don't know, he's right behind it, so he knows best.
Oh.
Not for Niels then.
We were both wrong. It just shows you the what it can look like on the screen as opposed to when you're behind it. But he's kind of not played a good enough safe there as he wanted. He's left Chris a shot and a chance here.
Yeah, so Chris has got a good chance here, and all of a sudden, when he was hooked and he decided to try and make something happen, it could be 3-2, and this is what we've been saying all along. This can happen. This is, you know, this is pool. This is what it's about.
Yeah, I mean, 3-0 up, and before you know it, you know, they're right on your tail, and it'll be Chris's break after this. So, you know, there we go. It can be an easy 3-3, just like that.
Yeah, and let's not forget, both guys have played one, lost one, so the pressure could easily be swung back over to Niels Feijen's shoulders. As Kelly just said, Chris Robinson will be breaking in the next rack, so big moments coming up. He's just gone to grab his extension. He's not the tallest of fellas. So this 9 ball, and it'll be 3-2 to Niels. Chris Robinson will be breaking. Quick update on table 2. The legend Ralph Souquet is 3-1 up, and he can't catch it. Iklenkachi, 21 years of age from Albania. Ralph Suke, 52 from Germany.
Is he 52?
He's 52.
Bless him, all right. I didn't realise that.
Oh, I didn't. Also looks very well. Must be something in the pool there.
Well, they've not looked at us yet, Carl.
That's why I'm in the comms. Hiding away.
What age are you now?
Have a little guess.
Well, you're near me, I think.
Near you? What?
You're younger than me, but you
You
must be 38.
Good guess.
Are you?
38, yeah.
Oh, that was a guess as well.
I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing that you guessed 38. There you see the group. Albin Ocean played 2. 1-1. All very tight. Very early stages, of course. Ralph Suke, at the moment, he's at the bottom of the league. Kelly Fisher there. 3rd place. It's a nice sight for you, that, isn't it, Kelly?
Yeah, absolutely. Shall we take a picture of it and keep it like that?
Chris Melling, fans' favourite, in 2nd place. Only played 1. He's up very, very soon. He's playing Chris Robinson next after this match. Marcel just making sure the balls are all touching, giving Chris the best rack possible. I'm not so sure I'll be swapping sides though. The way I've seen Niels crunch the break and been very successful, I always kind of like tried to think, oh yeah, I'll try and copy that.
Yeah, absolutely. Neil's break is perfect, so well, Chris has done a good break there.
Yeah, that's a brilliant break.
Well, maybe we should be swapping sides,
yeah.
Carl.
Chris, take it all back, Chris. Yeah.
Don't listen to us.
Yeah, there you see, controlled the cue ball lovely in the centre of the table. That's what the players are trying to do. And he's made balls and he's been rewarded with an open table, an open layout to try and tie this match up.
Like we said, in 9 ball anything can happen, and here we are. Niels 3-0 up, looking confident, and one thing can just switch the match around, and it really, Chris should run out here and we should see a 3-3 tie-out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the future of what players should be doing when they're behind 3-0 and things like that. Instead of trying to kick to perfection, maybe just try and get something going on and get a bit of luck.
Well, I wish for the advice for people watching, probably wouldn't recommend it too much. Yeah, because percentages wise it's not going to happen too often. I mean, Chris certainly did have 2 good wellies at it, shall we say, and got away with them, and then one turned the match around, but very fortunate for that to happen. Talking of fortune, we've just seen Iklenkachi just fluke the 9 in against Ralph to pull it back 3-2. It's all happening.
Well, maybe this is the young breed of players. Maybe this is what's going on.
Yeah, maybe we need to get with it.
Stuck in the dark ages here. And that's a useful nudge there from Chris, and that pretty much guarantees this rack is over, and it's going to be 3-3. Niels will have the break though in rack 7.
Well, Carl, I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I'm sure I'll be back in here later on during the day, so you're all in for a great match and some fantastic matches ahead.
Yeah, Kelly's got to go and prepare for her match now. She's playing Ralph Souquet next on table 2. Kelly, it's always a pleasure. Good luck.
Thank you, Carl. Nice chatting with you, and I'll speak to you later.
See you soon.
See you later.
Going to the bottom cushion, maybe off the 8.
Oh, trick shot by Woodward. What a shot by Evolution.
One thing's guaranteed, that shot will appear on plenty of highlight reels.
Whoa, did he split the wicket? What a beautiful shot that was. What a beautiful execution.
Look at this. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes it's best if you get up to the table and just hit.
This championship is being played with the new Aramith tournament set. Featuring a unique molecular structure, it guarantees razor-sharp precision and unsurpassed longevity. Unquestionably the best pool balls in the world, this set is available in a TV and a value pack version, as well as in the new My Aramith Ranger of Ball and Q cases. Now you can bring and play with the best ball set everywhere you go. My Aramith, bringing new dimensions to your billiards experience.
Welcome back to the opening day of the Predator Championship League pool, where we've seen some close finishes already, and we're heading for another one here in the match between Niels Feijen and Chris Robinson. Both players who need to get a win under their belt after starting with a defeat, and from 3-0 down, Chris Robinson has battled his way back to 3-all and has all the momentum now, Carl.
Yeah, Niels is under a bit of pressure now. Both guys are, to be fair. They've both played one match and lost them both, so key moments coming up. But it has to be said, Niels Feijen has been absolutely crunching the break. Look at that. Cue ball in the middle of the table, and all the balls are open, and he's got a shot at the 1 ball. And these are sitting as good as you'd like. He's got to spin this in 3 rails to play the blue 2 in the same pocket.
He was pretty clinical from this sort of position, even in defeat against Kelly Fisher. I think what cost him in that match was he was losing what we might describe as the more messy racks.
Yeah, whenever you're playing pool, you're kind of looking at certain balls on the table that might, you know, pose a problem. But as you can see, everything's in the open, and just make sure you get an angle on the purple 5, and that's the only real place this can go wrong, to be fair. That's what he's doing now. He's looking down the line of the next shot, just making sure he's got something in his mind where he needs to leave the cue ball.
Kelly Fisher swapped the microphone for the cue because she's getting ready to play her next match. She might be waiting a while yet because it's 3-all on the other table now between Ralph Souquet and Eklund Kachi, so still a bit of pool to be played in that one. And Ralph will then stay on that table to play Kelly Fisher.
There you see Niels leaving a nice big angle on this purple 5. That pretty much guarantees natural position on his next ball. There you see the cue ball comes over, and this is exactly what was needed for Niels Feijen. So it's nice to get on the hill first, and that will mean Niels is at least guaranteed a break, because it's Chris Robinson to break in the next rack.
Feijen's break was so good in this rack that it did look inevitable he'd win it from there, but he still had to do the job, and he's done it very clinically, very efficiently. Niels Feijen regaining the initiative, having been pegged back from 3-0 to 3-all. He's back in the lead now at 4-3, and as you say, Carl, first on the hill. And these are big moments coming up for Feijen. You're not out of it if you've lost your first 2 matches, but you're certainly putting yourself under pressure, because then you've really got to try to win 3 out of the remaining 4 at least.
Yeah, if anything, you could argue that between both players, Niels has, got the vast experience. He's played in many, many Mosconi Cups, and he's won the World Pool Masters twice. He's lost in the final of the World Cup of Pool twice for Holland, so he's no stranger to the Matchroom arena. As well, Chris is a new kid on the block, and I was speaking to him before, and he was telling me he's come over and he wants to learn. He's young and keen, and he wants to mix it with the legends of pool.
Well, he was going really well actually in the early events of 2020. It had some very encouraging results there, and then obviously everything got suspended, and that really stopped him in his tracks. But it was a real vote of confidence in him that he was given a place on the Mosconi Cup team, which did raise a few eyebrows. He was one of the few Americans really to emerge from that week with any credit.
Oh, and he scratched. Didn't control the cue ball. It was arcing over towards the side. And that's the problem when you don't control the cue ball. Let's have another look. There you see it's arcing over. And it did get flicked in, but it was on its way anyway. So Niels Feijen, ball in hand. All the balls are open, and this is a great chance. Ralph Souquet's at the table. On table 2 it's 3-3. And he's in a pretty good position, so he might be getting to the hill very soon.
He was in a dark place after that 5-0 defeat to Chris Melling earlier. He looked really dejected as he was waiting to go back out and play, but seems to have put it out of his head, as you would expect for a player of his experience.
So Niels has got a pretty good angle on this blue 2 ball now, so he can just play over to where he kind of walked to, top end of the table. This is all about composing yourself, making sure you don't do anything silly.
A big factor in this championship league is going to be what the Americans call bounce back ability. There'll be many times when you'll lose a match and then basically have to go straight back out and play another one. Niels Feijen has shown some of that quality here. So disappointed to lose to Kelly Fisher in the hill finish. And he's shown character even in the course of this match in withstanding Robinson's fight back. He'll feel a good deal better about things if he can get this finished off now. And then a bit of a break before he comes back to play Chris Melling later.
So can he play this with top right spin off the top rail, or does he have to draw it off the side rail? That's why he's taking a little bit of time on it, and it looks like he's aiming low. So he's going to kind of like punch draw this. Yeah, he's kind of in between the angles here. Yeah, now he's aiming high, he's aiming low. Good thing there's no shot clock, so you can just prepare your shot without worrying about the beat. So he's played it with top. Yeah, anywhere in the middle of the table you're fine, and that's absolutely perfect. So he's played that real nice.
Chris Robinson has travelled a very long way to come here, all the way from California, to play in this Predator Championship League. And it looks like it's going to be a long way back for him now in this group. It seems he's heading for 2 defeats from his first 2 matches. So it's a good response from Niels Feijen. He's responded well to his defeat earlier, and responded well to the way Robinson really put him under it in this match. He's closed it out, taking the last 2 racks, and the clenched fist shows that Niels Feijen is off and running in this group. He's beaten Chris Robinson by 5 racks to 3.